Okay, so I know that I know it's been a very long time since I've actually done a video for you guys, and I know that I started my YouTube channel in case there's any new people on here. I started my YouTube channel to pretty much make sure that if anyone was to look into Bitcoin and they actually wanted to invest, that they weren't, I guess, being scammed. So I dedicated my channel to actually doing that, right? So if we go down, I'll try to see if I can find like one of the earlier videos that I've done. We got 5 months ago, 6 months ago. So it'll be close to a year, if not a year ago, is when I started my channel. I knew about Bitcoin for a while, but I was fairly new at seeing programs. I was explaining to one of my friends that, oh, if you go into this program, you'll make double your coins back in approximately this many months. And that was one of my first opportunities with Bitcoin that I felt like, oh, you know what? That's why I haven't been putting much money into this, is because I haven't had an opportunity to double them. And, I wanted to actually do that. So, and this is where I started at. So I didn't start with these programs. I actually started with Gladia Coin right here, right? So my YouTube channel, I want to just go over some things really quick, I guess, about YouTube, and I want you guys to have a better understanding of like pretty much how this works. Okay, so I started the YouTube channel to make sure that, because I had put money into this right here, this website here, as well as Gladia Coin, and as well as these other programs here, to try to figure out, will they actually pay you out in that 24 hours? Because if they are paying out in 24 hours, then why don't we just put our money into these places that are actually doing that? And in doing these websites, I got a little bit more educated on how Bitcoin works. It's partly why I actually fell in love with Ethereum, and some other ones like Waves. There's some other ones out there like IoT, and there are other ones that I like. So there's a lot of coins out there that I actually agree with, I actually do follow, and definitely understand. And but there was this like learning curve, I guess, to see like what are these websites doing. And one of the things that I noticed was that they were bringing money in. You could see the transactions, and then that was pretty much it. Like, you didn't actually see the money go anywhere from there, right? So as you guys can see, prior to that, I had posted some videos just to try to, like, I guess in a sense, just try to see if, like, what would happen if I just randomly posted videos. But then I actually had a purpose, and this was my purpose here, was to actually make sure that no one lost money when investing in Bitcoin. Okay, the reason why you don't want to lose money is because these websites were making millions and millions. For the most part, we're making hundreds of thousands to millions in your Bitcoins. And that just seemed kind of messed up to me. Why would someone do that to someone? And the more I've looked into this, the more I noticed how Bitcoin works. One of the things that I noticed along the way in this journey is that Bitcoin does not work one particular way. So the way that I thought Bitcoin worked was, people had a recipe or a hack for it or whatever, and they were able to use my coins to create more coins, or use my coins to speed up some sort of process for something. Or as I started to notice how Bitcoin worked, I started to think that, okay, well, they were using my Bitcoins to push some agenda, and maybe we were just mining faster than everyone else because now they have the resources to mine faster. All of that stuff came into my mind, and that's how I thought this whole thing worked. Then, as I started to go further into this, I started to notice that websites were popping up left and right. I mean, there wasn't a day that you couldn't go on the internet and actually see a website pop up. I mean, a new website every single day would pop up, and people were putting money into them. And I just felt very uneasy knowing that there were people out there that were working very hard for their money, and they were putting them into this website. So you'll notice things like this, right? bx.o, and then I'll have like 12-hour doubler or scam. Okay, so I understand that that's clickbait for some people, but you do have to realize something when I did this channel, that these people are going to type in bxto and they're going to get a million people, right? bx2.co. They're going to get me plus 1,000 other people. But the first thing they're going to type in after that is the word scam. So I never judged a book by its cover, because if I tell you that it's a scam and then you tell me, How do I know? Actually, how do I know? I started this channel a month before I actually started to write the word scam, scam test, before I actually started to call things scam. It took me a while before I actually could really write that word, depositing day zero, and then update. Before I actually could say the word scam, it took me about a month to actually be able to do that. I had to build some sort of resume, some sort of reputation on the internet to explain to you guys how I do my analysis on a website, and then I would then get pushback from people. So I would go out there, I would find a website that people found very popular, and this website already made $100,000. I would then go and do my detailed analysis on it, saying how I thought it might have been a scam, and then I would then send that out to people, and then I would get pushback. So in some of these comments, I started getting pushback. You don't know what you're talking about. This site is paying. And I would get more comments saying the site is paying than thank you for helping us out. So I actually had to start to invest my own money. And yes, in a sense, I made sure that I took the sacrifice for you. So if you guys know anything about history or the military, a lot of times the general, the person in the front lines, that is the person that should actually die first. They're not the ones that should be able to tell the story. If majority of the people died, the general should also die as well. If you are a leader, you should never take people with you. Okay. What should happen is that you should go down first. Okay. The captain should die. The captain should never be the one that told the story. There should be some lone survivor, or your last, request is everyone retreat that does not feel they're up to the challenge. And as they retreat, everybody then runs, right? And anyone that's caught in the crossfire before able to retreat, then that's just casualty of war. But that person should not be retreating. That person should be the main person fighting along before the retreat. So I felt that that's how I was going to approach this, is that I was going to make sure that I took the thing, that I took this. This is what happened to me 2 months in. BTC clock happened to me, okay? BTC clock, Trady.io, and there was another one, and I do apologize. I think it's Crypto Daily. Those three lasted the longest in my first 2 months. They actually lasted from, as you guys can see here, this was month 10, let's just say 2 months in. They lasted all the way till somewhere around here where laser popped up. And this is where all the money started to go, okay? I had to do this multiple times on multiple sites, how I was getting deposits and withdrawals and stuff like that. And I had to keep on doing withdrawals here. So you see how it said scam here, scam here. That's because people were still putting in on the website. And I was emailing these people saying, do not deposit money. They are a scam. Same thing with all these websites that you see. Multiple times I had to do multiple scam reports because they were scammers. But again, I never judged a book by its cover because I needed to invest in order for people to see that I wasn't making any money. Once I did that, then people started to believe me. Oh, wow, he's right. It was a scam. But it took a very long time for me to get to that point. This is where Trady started to pay me a lot of money for being one of their top referrers. BTC Clock, a lot of money. Again, I started to get paid out, and then here we go. Do not invest. As you guys can see here, a tenth of a Bitcoin nowadays is $900 something. And just this right here, my Bitcoins were, I think it was like almost at like 2 or 3 Bitcoins by then. Oh, I'm sorry, like a 25th of a Bitcoin, 0.25 Bitcoins. There are other ones up here. I can just go on and on and on. And then as you guys can see here, stocks and Plex, I started to notice ICOs, and I started to continue to do what made me very popular on YouTube. As you can see, I'm not making a lot of money. I was probably making about $100 a month. My equivalent of $100 a month is about 30 to 50,000 views a month is what I was getting. It doesn't look like that, but at some point it got to that point. But I had to just make sure that I didn't want to scam people. I felt really bad when I actually invested and then people invested and then I got scammed and so did they. As you guys can see, like even BitConnect, I tried my best not to actually promote BitConnect at the time that I was doing it. And people would question my integrity on not telling about BitConnect because BitConnect was a big website. But as you can see here, look, BitConnect, I did one here. I did another one here. I really just didn't like BitConnect for some weird reason. Just kind of threw me off a little bit. I never said anything bad about them because you never know your money's in there, what's going to happen. But at the same time, you never know. I never just, it just didn't feel that easy, about them. So With that being said, things took the turn for the best and for the worst, because then we started to get into the lending programs. And the lending programs started to cause havoc on the crypto market because people were getting in and getting out of the lending programs, and they were either helping or hurting people every single day. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect that many lending programs to be that many scams. So let's just say I invested in 30. I would say maybe 3 or 4 paid out. Okay, so I took a lot of hit on that, but I also had also had a referral link, or didn't. Just it is what it is. I invested, and I just never really gave my opinion if I thought that they were good or not. There was a lot that I did that if I can go back, like even this one, the day that I did this, the very next day they closed down. So there's a lot that I did, and then I just decided, you know what, let's just not even put money in. Let's just call things fraud for what it is. And I just kind of went into explaining how Bitcoin works. And as you guys see here, 2 months, and then I did a few videos in 1 month, and then 3 months, I did a few videos in that month. And then 1 month ago, I didn't do any videos this month except for this one, because I got these two, because I kept getting a few emails about them. And I just wanted to make sure that people just understand that not get scammed. Okay? So December came around, and I want to just let you guys know, December came around, and there were a group of people in my group that felt that we should do our own coin. Okay, so there were quite a few people, so to speak. There was, I'd say about 9 or 10, saying that we should have some sort of community coin, and figure out a way that we can get it listed, and then from that point, after we get it listed, help it grow, by having other YouTubers as well as other people push the coin and hold it and see if we can get the coin to grow. I like the idea of that. The only problem was the people that were all in cahoots together, I would say 9 of us, maybe 10 of us, that were thinking about doing that. We were all on different pages. There wasn't a single person that really understood what was happening. And then there was one person that had all the information and just didn't want to share the information, so to speak. Okay, so I then reached out to a few other people that were already doing coins, and that were already involved in coins, and just wanted to get some information about who are they using. Do they actually hire developers? Are they the ones that are bankrolling this? And because I had this channel, I explained to them that I wouldn't put it on the channel. That was a lot of things that were getting flack for, was putting things on my channel that were not supposed to be on there. So they were afraid of that. But once we started to talk, I ran into a few individuals that explained to me pretty much how they got started in the crypto market. Not investing, not even buying, just researching. So as you guys know, I'm in school to get my master's in marketing. I do actually want to get my doctorates, which is actually a weird thing to say, but I do want people to call me doctor, which is kind of weird. My last name is Gillen, Gillon, so I'll be Dr. Gillen. But yeah, that's actually what I'm actually in school for now. So in doing so, I do a lot of my book reports on Bitcoin as well as Ethereum. I do a lot of my papers, a lot of other things that I do. I'll research as much as I can, and I just really just understood how Ethereum worked. So I took it upon myself to find some developers. There was one in particular, as well as he had like a team. They have been a part of about 50 development groups. They are not in America, and what they decided to do was help me actually build out my own coin. We did a lot of research back and forth about what type of coin I wanted to do, and I'll tell you guys the truth, right? So I don't actually see the videos here for some weird reason. Oh, here it is. So right here, you guys can see, can I day trade crypto and make money? Okay, so this is one of the things that a lot of people were telling me that they were doing. Okay, that, oh, you are doing the wrong thing. So like for instance, you put money into a Bitcoin doubler or whatever you want to call it, you're either going to make money or you're not. Okay, and that just happens. That's just how it works. Okay, and then you also have the people that are putting money into ICOs, and either you're going to make money or you're not. And then you have the people that are day trading. Okay, so there are ways of making money, but those are I guess you want to say those are the top 3 ways that people make money. You also have people that mine, but they don't make a lot of money until the price of the coin goes up. So people that were mining since it was like $1, they're making a killing versus the people, or they were making a killing back then. They're probably making the same amount per day as we're all making today if we mine. But if they harvested those coins, they are worth more today than they'll be later, so to speak. Okay. So I bring all that up to say this. Okay. So we did a lot of research, and I just started to day trade. And what I noticed was I would start with $1,000. Okay. I started with $1,000 at first. I didn't show you guys this because I wanted to try it out. I then bought coins using Coinbase. I then sent them over to Coin Exchange. I tried to day trade on Coin Exchange, not enough volume. But then there is enough volume for you to just hold and wait. So I found myself just buying and holding. And then when I held, if it went up, I made money. But I would have done the same thing somewhere else. Then I decided to move everything over to Poloniex to try that for a bit. Didn't actually like the platform. Didn't like the way it was. And I couldn't use it on my phone like I could Coinbase. I'm sorry, Coin Exchange. I also tried KuCoin, Gate.io. And they are like pretty much the same thing, just different options. So Gate.io as well as another one, I don't remember the name of it now. They both, Mercatox. They both have a lot of coins up there, and you have the ability to pretty much trade anything. And if you get lucky with a trade, I've seen some trades up there that would start at 7 zeros and a 1, and then out of nowhere, the next couple of days later, it's like 7 zeros and a 9, and now all of a sudden you're 9 times higher than you were 2 days ago. And I try to just predict that market by looking at the research, and I just couldn't figure it out. So then I, again, still holding on to a lot of coins, I started to notice things like Binance and EtherDelta had their own coins. So Binance and EtherDelta having their own coins was a very cool thing to me, but I just didn't understand why they would have them. KuCoin, I believe, has their own as well. I didn't really understand why they used the coins. So I did some research, and I researched the coins themselves, read the coding. I also checked to see what servers they were using and stuff like that. And what I noticed was this. The coins are really just for them to trade back and forth, some sort of currency. The actual coins themselves are just used to raise funds on the platform. So I thought that would mean that, okay, if they had this many coins on the platform, then that would indicate that somewhere down the line the coins become valuable because people will start to hold them. But then I couldn't figure out a reason for people to hold them. And then I read that they were going to be burning their tokens until they get down to I think 100 million or 50 million or whatever the number was. But I still just couldn't figure out where they were going with this information. I then invested in Bitotech. I also invested in a few other ones. A few other ICOs that I believe would actually, pan out. I forget the other ones. I can't remember the name of them. But anyway, I then invested into other tokens that were exchange tokens. And the only one that really went up, invested into it, I think like $1.25, was Binance. It's because it gained popularity. It's the only one, as it gained popularity. But I still just couldn't figure out why people would buy it. People were just trading it. That's all they were doing, just trading it. And I don't know, it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. So after researching that information, I then reached out to the developers again, and I said, what kind of token could you do if we did a token? And they expressed to me that the type of token that they could do is any token in the world, as well as a platform for it. But they would love to do something that was very similar to a wallet. And I explained to them, I would be very interested in doing this wallet with them if they were interested in doing an exchange with me. And we came to an agreement that they would do a wallet with an exchange included, and we would have our own token. But the caveat for me was the token is tradable. That is not a problem. But the token also must work like stocks, okay? Binance reported their earnings for quarter 1, right? So let's just use Binance as an example. Binance quarter 1, 2018. So we'll use Binance as an example. because they're the ones that talked about how their quarter went. Okay, and then I'll do more comparison stuff later on for people if you guys actually want to see it. But cryptocurrency Binance, this is I'm assuming this is one of the people behind Binance. One of the things I want to talk about, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on, but Binance recorded a profit of $200 million. Okay, so what that pretty much means is that they paid all their staff, they paid all their employees, they paid their infrastructure cost, they've done everything they could possibly do, they paid all the fees, and any DNR, which is development and research, or R&D, whatever you want to call it, they've done all that, they paid everything, and then they still had $200 million left over. Okay, what happens with this $200 million? We don't know, right? So Apple 2016 profit. Let's just look at this, right? So Apple today announced, and I don't know how long this was. Okay, this is 2016. They announced that the fiscal fourth quarter ended. The company posted quarterly revenue of 46 billion, right? So then they talk about how they netted $9 billion. What does Apple do with that $9 billion? What does Binance do with their $200 million? That's the question that people never ask. No one really cares to ask those questions. So my thing was, if I created a platform that profited this amount of money, I would like to know that my stakeholders, the people that believed in me enough to hold my token rather than sell it and make a profit that way, they can get a piece of that. So if you look at this $200 million and we took 5% of the $200 million, that's $10 million that I would then give to my stakeholders, right? People that were holding on to the token. Same thing here. $9 billion, they're only going to give 3% to their stakeholders. Now, if they give 3%, that means that you held their stock for more than one quarter till the end of the year. I believe that's how it works. I'm not actually a shareholder, so I don't really care how it works. I don't see myself actually holding on to that. But yeah, that's what they're doing, right? And then, as you guys can see here, this is their way of what they would call burning shares of coins. Shares, burning coins. Okay, so they're diluting 1.6 $1.06. So they're burning tokens. That's how they do it. Okay, so anyway, as you guys see, Binance has only been set up for under a year. They became very popular overnight, pretty much, and they've done everything they can do to become popular. I don't really care to be that popular. It would be really nice, but I do see that there is a market out there. I'll explain a little bit more, but I wanted just to put that bug out there that Crypto Booth was created for that reason. When I say these three things right here, that there's a stakeholder's wallet, that means that as long as you keep your tokens inside the wallet, you will then make a profit depending on how long you leave it in there. You can leave it in there for the entire quarter or 50% of the quarter, but then you'll get a percentage of that. It's like a quarterly bonus for being a faithful holder. Okay, that's this quarterly bonus here. That's pretty much how that works. So stakeholders wallet as well as the quarterly bonuses. And then we also have, and also quarterly bonuses are not just for stakeholders. Our top, I think it's going to be 20 or 25 people. We haven't figured out the number yet, but our top 25 traders, people that buy, trade, that generate money, like the ones that actually are generating money back and forth, those people will actually be gaining points. We haven't figured out the algorithm number yet because, we're still doing some testing to figure out, how often a day trader really trades in one day, as well as how much money is being put, new money coming in, old money going out, stuff like that. We're still doing those numbers, but we'll figure out that number in the next couple of days because we have been doing this for about 4 months now. And quarterly bonuses, another 5% will be given to those people as well. So if you're top 20, top 25, you will also be receiving a quarterly bonus. And they're both paid out in US dollars. They're not paid out in Bitcoin they're not paid out. They're paid out in US dollar tender, which USDT. But there will be a US dollar wallet on there, which you will actually be able to, use on the market or use in the wallet or even cash out. Okay, you can cash out straight from the quarterly bonus. And then last thing is 100% transparency. So I felt that this was very important because I'm using Ethereum. I want people to understand that I love transparency, and I feel like it's the best way to get the government off your ass. So the transparency that I'm talking about is you'll be able to see every single time we pay out a quarterly bonus. Not exactly to who, but you'll see how much was paid out. Okay, you'll also see how much we made in for the day within a 24-hour period, starting with UTC time, not UTC time, but the very first time. So 0000. You guys will see from that point to the next point how much money was generated in one day. You guys will also get to see how much money was taken out just for legal fees, for staff, all that stuff. I know that it's not ideal to do that, but that is exactly what is needed, okay? Because if I am helping people generate money by actually using their platform, I would like to know what they're using it for. Just like when you pay your taxes, people want to know what they're using it for. And another thing that people want to know is when they are giving money for tuition at schools, you would love to know where the tuition goes. They know exactly who to go to and how much profit you're making. I just feel like that's just what the world is missing, is 100% transparency. And then the last thing that I'll go over is, here's the white paper, here's the Telegram, as well as how you can buy tokens. One of the things that I noticed is the KYC was turning a lot of people away. So we didn't put KYC on here. It is there will be KYC on the app, but the only way the KYC will be on the app is if you're looking to raise your limit. I believe the limit, when we start off, will be $500 to be able to deposit and withdraw per day. And then from there, you'll have the ability to raise your limit if you wanted to. And the only way to do that is by using KYC. As of right now, we did update the site. We did put it onto our new servers in the Bahamas. We have reached out to the Bahamas, and we also have purchased an office space there. We are looking to purchase a building like we did in Jamaica. But what we need to do now is, as you can see here, it's still under construction, so you can't use it because I don't want this platform to be a platform. I want everything to be on the app, as well as on the, like right now this is just the ICO site. So you'll see that, but if you want to contribute, you can contribute straight here, or you can actually use your wallet to take a picture, using this, and it will send it directly to us. So, and if you want to go back, you just press the home button. It will send you back to ico.cryptobooth.com. It has been updated. Everything is back to where it's supposed to be. I will be updating the website in a little bit. But yeah, right now this is the minimum to give is 0.00. I'm sorry, this is for one. The minimum to give is 0.0015. Once we reach 2.1 million, which is 5,700 Ethereums, once we reach that number, we will release our tokens to people. But inside there, I have a inside our code, so you guys can see it. Let's see. I won't actually show it all to you, but inside of our code, we did create a way for us to reverse the function of pretty much the buy, right? So we used a lot of code from a lot of different people, just kind of doing a lot of research to figure out what actually works and what doesn't work. And we used one of the most up-to-date codes. They didn't really have 4.19. We just did a lot of research on 4.18 and just felt that it was the most up-to-date. And it was a lot of information on 4.19. So yeah, so we went through it, and if for whatever reason the crowd sale ends, which we are moving to July 1st, June 30th, which is the last day now. Once we get to that date and we have not made 2.1 million, your Ethereum is automatically sent back. So you don't have to worry about losing your Ethereum, okay? So I'll end the video here. I didn't want to go too far. I know this is a super long video, and I try my best not to actually do long videos, but there are opportunities for me to actually do videos, and I just felt that it's very important that I start to try to do videos again. When I did this coin, the coin was approximately 24 cents, but the value of Ethereum has been rising like crazy. So now the value of the coin has become about 45 cents. So that's why I'm giving out the 25% bonus to drop it down as much as I can. It's another 10 cents that I'm dropping it. So I'm looking at this like the best way to do this is to make sure that people get tokens. I don't really need all the money. We've already estimated cost, so we don't need too much money. We just really need to make sure that we're able to do what we say we can do and have the infrastructure put in place the way we need it to be put in place. So if you have any questions, you can definitely comment. I'll put this video on both. I'll also put the link in for both. I know it's not ideal for a YouTuber, but honestly, this for the last 4 months, I have been working very hard on getting this coin to where it's at now. me and it's about 4 other people that I started with about 11 people altogether, me plus 10, and then we got down to about 4 or 5 because we really just didn't need everybody's input because everybody wanted to add to it. So as of right now, we don't really see that we need to add more, but if there's something that we're missing, please let us know. Definitely comment below. We're all here to help you. You won't see my name on the website, but you will see the people that have helped me to create this token. These are the 4 people here. All their emails now come directly to one box because we felt that it just made it a lot easier. These people, some of them are in America, as well as other ones are not. They're not aliases. These are real names. This is not a founder / CEO, but this is someone that I started doing everything with. If you have any questions, I'm updating the website now as well as the crowd sale information. We've done everything we can think of to get this token to where you can trust and believe in the project. There will be more releases later as far as as far as what the token will look like. The platform will look like. It is going to start off as an app, and we will not actually be rolling out a web version. Everything will be a downloadable app because it will make your life a whole lot easier if you're able to just log into an app rather than the website, because then it's more secured that way. Then you're only on our network rather than having to worry about something being on your browser that's holding you hostage in a sense. So have any questions, again, let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, definitely share. And yeah, join us in our Telegram group chat. The marketing will start next Monday, so you'll start seeing ads on Google as well as CoinMarketCap, as well as other apps that are in the App Store that are as well other wallets and exchanges.